Cheery Angelasti.
When it's already polished and all nice and good to go, it was good. I'm just trying to find something for you, thanks.
It's happened again, Harry.
No, I was on mute. I'm a fucking idiot. I think that's where the podcast starts, right?
I just saw your face just go, oh no. Well, not again.
I think that's where we start. So, Shaun, that's where we start, Shaun. Just a bit of background for those of you who obviously haven't seen the 10 minutes of the podcast we tried to record. My Xbox was doing a huge update and it tanked my internet, and it meant that I could not see or hear anything. And could be a blessing in disguise, but it meant that these guys could see me, so it's not really a blessing. So, Duncan, do you want to do the intro? Because
I'll do it again.
Our good friend Shaun.
It's the second time I've done it, and it's happening again. Fuck me.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Can you go mute again? Hey, howdy, hey. Hey, great mates. And hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to episode Tickle Me 63. I've already done this joke like 10 years ago, so it's pretty lost its impact. That's the bingo call, because I want to keep up Shaun's traditions.
Yeah.
He's only ill, but Shaun's not, because he's a poorly boy. Any Harry?
Shall I make the Lego joke that I made before? He's just covered in Lego.
Covered in Lego.
Yeah. It's up
What
his
did you
arse.
say, Paul?
Yeah, he keeps standing on it. Yeah.
Savage.
Pulls his nose, Lego.
He shags Lego now. That's his thing.
Yeah. Finger in his ear, Lego.
Also, the last recording, you were saying congratulations to me on that belter of an episode with Grant Stoner.
Here we go.
So
There you go, the fucking Harry show already.
It was
I've got to do the fucking intro
Harry.
properly again. I'll get to you, all right. So welcome back. Welcome back to Paul. Is a lovely milestone today. 6 months, this will do. You great mates.
6 months of hello.
Hello. I'm Paul.
It's 6 months of
and I'm
hello.
Zockins. You've got some exciting stuff coming out.
Bastard.
I do Canadian Scobie. I go like, and also Harry's here. Well done, mate, for your behind the screens debut episodes.
Yeah,
with Grant Stoner went down a
that one. Very happy with that one. Thank you very much.
So if your head can't get any fucking bigger, so have another round of applause.
That's why I've got the hat on today, so it doesn't keep expanding.
Containing it.
But it's very good. A lovely reception, which is lovely to see.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And also,
talking about accessibility for a while.
Also, just wanted to give Grant a shout out because his dad went into surgery today, liver surgery, and from the looks of it, it's been successful. So just wanted to say a big up to Grant and his family. Get well soon, Daddy Grant, and thank you for talking to me about Pokemon and the game that Duncan's not allowed to talk about anymore.
It was brilliant. It was really,
it's
really good, and it was
nearly on the level of Halo with you, is it?
No, however, Halo Infinite Season 2 does look really good. So I'm going to eat my words slightly.
And we've got a video coming out on that.
We do. It will be out by the time this episode comes out. So
me and Harry collaborated on a video and didn't argue about it. Can you believe it?
I know.
Wow.
I was like, I've written a script and I think it's quite good. And Duncan was like, it is a good script.
And I barely fucking changed it for once.
Yeah.
Look at you guys cooperating.
Imagine that. We've grown up.
Collaborating with someone who I do a podcast with every week.
Yeah. It's taking us a year.
Gamers Watch X Gamers Watch.
Right. I'll get through the rest of the intro because I want to go to bed in 10 minutes. Thanks, Harry.
Yeah, sorry.
Share this with your local brickie. Because Lego bricks. Because Shaun loves his Lego. Shaun, appreciate you, mate. I'm sad you're not here today. Follow us on Twitter at Gamers Watch Crew. It's mainly Harry. Follow us or sub on YouTube. youtube.com/Gamers Watch. That's the thing in it. Give us a thumbs up. Don't bother with a thumbs down. Don't want those. Cheers. Got enough of those.
No,
on
it doesn't matter.
video.
It doesn't matter because it's just part of the algorithm. So give us loads of thumbs down. It does the same thing.
Okay, well, just don't be mean about it.
Yeah.
Ding that bell. Do you ever do that?
Ding.
I don't know if I've ever got notification of anyone. Just don't want it.
I'm notified for all the This'll Do videos, so they ping, they pop up.
I am notified for Gamers Watch.
Oh, guess who's the cunt here then? He doesn't. To be fair, I know.
I send you the ball anyway.
Yeah, I know Paul's upload schedule anyway, so I'm always like, Paul, you're gonna send your video up tomorrow, mate.
You're his PR manager.
To be fair, it's Geordie Shaun that manages that.
Big ups, Geordie Shaun. We say every week. What a guy.
I know. Love him.
Watch us 7:30 p.m. GMT on YouTube, 2:30 EST Eastern. Is that 11:30 a.m. Pacific? As if you've got the time to watch it in the morning.
I know.
Subscribe to This'll Do as well. It's better. Top quality.
Yeah.
Top quality.
It's so annoying how much better it is already.
Don't hate the play, man. And buy our bloody merch.
Yeah.
Do we still have a merch store? Do we still do that?
I think we do. I know that we've talked about just selling baguettes. That's going to be a thing that we do.
Yeah, baguette.
Just selling baguette on the internet. What could possibly go wrong with selling bread to strangers?
Well, I'll just scroll Gamers Watch on it in a Sharpie and send it out.
Yeah, really healthy. So, should we kick on with the show then?
Yeah.
After almost an hour.
We're getting there.
Paul.
Hello.
You used to do a show, Gamin 600. Gamin 600.
Gaming 6.
But
yes.
You're not a wobbly boy anymore, so you had to go back to work. So you're going to be part of Gaming 60 Seconds, the new format. Have you got a clue this week?
I love how it's like the new format. We're just doing it earlier.
I do not have a clue, but if you guys want to fire out some, and I can quickly see if I can put one together in my head, but I probably won't, so I'll do my best.
Well, you could do what I do. Just go on the Game Pass app like 5 minutes before we record and find the first thing that you can see.
Yeah, and do the most recent game that's come out, and then that'll be Harry's clue. Shaun's got a clue, by the way. So Shaun, put his video up now.
Hey, howdy, hey everyone, Shaun here. Unfortunately, I can't be on today's episode because of insert reference to original joke Duncan just made. And also because I'm a bit of a poorly boy at the moment. And last reason, you may have seen on Twitter, me and Lucia actually have a little Lego on the way. So we're looking forward to building that. And I need to take some time off for that as well, obviously. Now, with me not being on, that means I am handing the reins to our show over to Harry and Duncan for this episode. And I couldn't be leaving today's episode in safer hands. We all put so much effort into each and every episode, and I trust them fully to smash it as I take this episode off. I trust them so much that, despite their protests, I thought it would be nice to record a game in 60 seconds for them to use for this episode that I'm not in. So my game in 60 is he drowned before he could say dad. He drowned before he could say dad. Now remember to keep watching the episode and we'll say the answers at the very end, which means I'll be seeing you at the end for another video for this episode that I'm not in.
I don't know what that game is, Shaun. Thank you for that.
Oh,
I wonder what it is.
I figured it out immediately.
Make sure to stick around.
That clue over there. That is a great clue. Wow.
Yeah. I think I know. Yeah.
That's the thumbnail.
Make sure to stick around to the end of the show to find out what the answer is. But you go. So, Harry, I've interrupted you, mate. How rude of me. Carry on.
That's all right. It's not a nice feeling, if I'm honest, Duncan. So I know how you feel almost every second of the day now. My clue is it was a bit weird seeing Cyndi Lauper in that Jake Gyllenhaal sci-fi film. It was a bit weird seeing Cyndi Lauper in that Jake Gyllenhaal sci-fi film. And I'll hang on. Yeah, no, that does work. Yeah, it works. It works. So, Duncan, what's your clue?
Again, that's not fair.
Again, that's not fair. No, I'm not there on that one. I can see that look that we've not seen in quite some time, Duncan, as Paul tries to desperately pull a clue out of his ass.
Yeah.
Poge.
Here, it's right there.
Hail to the Poge.
I'm going to Google Bill and Harry.
So,
Jake Gyllenhaal, IMDb.
oh my God. You could just type in Cyndi Lauper and you would get it immediately.
Girls just want to have fun.
No.
That's a song, isn't it?
I've actually got a clue. I've got one, I think. Wait, I need to write.
Ooh.
I need to write it so then I say it correctly.
Oh, this is like in Countdown when they say, I've got the numbers, but I haven't written it down. And they have to go to him first. Okay, then, Paul. So Paul's going to take some time. I'm just going to run through what we're going to be talking about today. So the first segment that we're going to go through is Skate 4 pre-alpha footage has been shown. And it looks a bit ropey because it's pre-alpha footage, but it's Skate 4 footage being shown, which is always amazing. Then I'm going to shut up for like 15 minutes. And Paul and Duncan are going to talk about Sea of Thieves because they had a ruddy great adventure, didn't they?
It was
ruddy great. Ruddy gruddy.
Fantastic.
Now, all three of us have played OlliOlli World, and I've not shut up about it for like almost a month. So we'll have a little chat about that.
So I like just jump in. I love on Twitter. You know when you see a response from someone else, and it's like every single time I see just a random person I don't follow say, "What's your game of the year?" And I know if I scroll down, it's going to be Harry Go Lucky with a picture of OlliOlli World.
Yeah, boy.
Fucking 10 times a day.
I want everyone to play it. I want everyone to play it. It's the best. And then segment 4, we're going to talk about the recent news that Xbox has emerged with the best March it's ever had since the 360 days. So, Paul, you have got a clue.
Yep, I have
game
a
in
clue.
60 seconds.
Here we go. I had to get half a dozen oddly coloured teeth removed. I had to get half a dozen oddly coloured teeth removed.
No.
It's so terrible. It is awful.
Well, I look forward to hearing that terrible, terrible answer at the end of the show. Because I don't know what that's going to be. So, should we move on to Skate 4, Paul? Because you've been doing some reading today.
Yes.
Using your ruddy eyeballs and reading stuff.
Yes. I'm so excited about Skate 4. I love the skate game so much. But yeah, I was doing some reading because obviously that trailer leaked. But there was something that I didn't read anywhere else, and I can't remember what games website was talking about it, but apparently they're going to be doing it that you can do open area free roam, like free skates that you had in the previous ones, but you can build skate parks together. So you can like go into a random area of the world and you can just build skate parks together. That sounds freaking awesome. Like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so the pre-alpha footage came out from this point of recording, I think it's about a week ago. And obviously it looks ropey. It doesn't look graphically brilliant, but it's pre-alpha. So what I've gleaned from that footage is that they're working very hard to make it look like the other skate games. which I'm really happy about. The movement still looks very, very Skate 2 and 3, which it's got a certain charm about it. It's a bit ropey. It's not the best movement, but the skating animations looked really genuinely good. The thing that I'm most excited about is not just that there's a new skate game, because obviously I'm excited about that. It's that they're taking their time to make sure they get things right, because they could have done typical EA Battlefront and Battlefield. They could have just rushed out a product just to get it on the market, to have something there, and then they'll fix it eventually. But it does look like the guys that are working on Skate 4 are genuinely taking the time to make sure that it plays like a skate game.
The foundations look like they're there in that pre-alpha footage. I'm not expecting a polished kind of image from that at all, but when you watch it, it fundamentally looks like a skate game. Like you could show that to anybody that's enjoyed the skate games previously, show them that, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a funny looking version of Skate." Like they would know that that's what it is. And that's what we want. Maybe I'm speaking for everyone, but that's what I
wanted it. For years.
It looks amazing. And I just can't wait. And also, just that wee bit in the pre-alpha footage, the hippie jump front flips they were doing, I was like, I'm interested in how I can play with this feature.
Because I know that in Skate 1 at the high school, there was a certain rail that you could hippie flip on, and I used to you have to get the timing exactly right, and they brought it in somewhat into the later games. I think that this skate, more than any others, is going to feature a lot more street skating rather than vert skating, because as good as the skate games are for vert, they've never been able to really get the fidelity needed to do proper street skating, like flat top skating, no ramps, no rails. So I'm hoping that it opens it up a little bit more of this. Well, everyone will know Rodney Mullen. I hope there's more Rodney Mullen-esque skating, rather than just the aim of the game is to get to the big park at the end of it and do a backflip off of the X ramp. I hope that it goes more into just being a skater rather than competing at the X Games. And I think that they're going to do that because, like you say, you can make skate parks, you can make areas and spots. And I know that we did the same thing in Shredders, Paul, is we would find a spot and spend hours on it. That's what I would always do in Skate 3. So the fact you can make those spots is really exciting, I think.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you can make them together, one of my favorite things to do in Skate 3, even to this day, is to jump in the lobby with one mate or a couple of mates, and we create our own game of Skate in Free Skate. So we'll pick an object and we'll be like, right, you got to try and do a kickflip wall ride 360 out, and you've got 3 tries to nail it to set the trick. And if you don't do it in those 3 tries, then they get to move on. And we just try and pick the most bizarre obstacles that we can possibly find and go, I'm going to do this on that. And then you've got 3 tries to get it, and we just play our own game within it. And just the thought of being able to do that, but also be placing objects and ramps and that, you can do in the single player of Skate 3, but doing that in free roam with someone else just sounds epic. It sounds amazing. And one thing, I think we're in a place now as well where the environments are probably going to be a bit more bigger, and there's going to be more denser areas and stuff. So I'll be really interested to see how that kind of pans out over time, and if we're going to see these big, open, vast areas, or maybe they will keep it into condensed smaller ones, but we might get more of them. I'm so hyped. I to be honest, it could be one area, one map, and I'd probably still lap it up because I love Skate.
Yeah, I hope that they don't emulate the map from Skate 3. It's the thing that I dislike the most about the game, is that it's split into 3 areas. I know why they had to do it because of the limitations of the console at the time. What I personally would hope for is an area, a massive open area. So I'm thinking downtown in GTA 5 area.
Yeah.
That sort of size and scope. Plus then on top of that, the suburban areas and then the skate parks. I really want a massive open world to skate in. And I know it's my dream would be that there would be working subway systems, that there would be a monorail system or something. So you're not fast traveling everywhere. So you can actually use the environment. So you can sketch onto a car and actually go like down roads and know where you're going, rather than just I'll fast travel to that area, or that there is working subways. And I'd like it to be a bit grittier and a bit more realistic in that sort of sense, but still keeping the really funny side that all the skate games have had. I'd like them to sort of jump into a bit more reality. So having like a working metro system could be really cool.
Yeah. I think that sounds cool as well. Yeah. I think like, yeah, you're right with the traveling and stuff, like the fast travel, it kind of does eliminate that kind of freedom of moving about the map. And did they really have that on Skate 1? It was more kind of in the future ones that
so Skate 1 was a much smaller area. Skate 2 was my favourite map, and it still is. It just doesn't play as well as Skate 3.
Slappies.
Slappies was the best. Skate 2 in terms of the map.
Yes.
Skate 2 map was the best. And I think that they went backwards with Skate 3. They tried a bit too much. They over-exerted themselves. And one of my favourite things about Skate 2 was the exploration of the entire map all as one area. And there was nothing for me more frustrating in Skate 3 was just having invisible walls and barriers stopping me from exploring. I never felt that same want to like... So my favourite area in all of Skate 3, it's in the industrial area, and it's that tiny little skate park with the sofa. You'll know the one I mean. It's got...
Yeah, I think I do know the one you mean. It's got the big... It's like kind of like metal kind of ramps and stuff in it.
Yeah. So it's a really industrial area. That's my sort of favourite areas because it felt like a real place. And I think that Skate 4, I would personally like it to feel much more realistic than Skate 3 did, where most of the game just felt like you were bombing downhill all the time. And it just, I don't know. I want them to go back to Skate 2, basically. I want Skate 2.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Skate 2 was my top one, 100%. No doubt about it. And I don't know if you know this, but you probably do because it sounds like you've played it as much as I did. But do you remember the boneless glitch that used to just send you like launch into the sky? So if you use that on certain bits of the map, there was actually a DLC in Skate 2 that if you launched yourself out of the outskirts of the map, there was areas from the Skate 1 map that were still in the environment round the back, so you could actually go and skate like the Skate 1 map in the Skate 2 and stuff. I love doing stuff like that. I just loved exploring like these little areas that you weren't really meant to get to, but I was determined to get to. I was like, I'm going to skate that.
And I really hope that Skate 4 opens up that so much because, I mean, we've both skated ourselves in real life. We've spoken about the injuries we've had, and you've showed me a video that I'm sure if I send it to Shaun, he'll put some footage on the screen now. And so we genuinely do skate in real life. Well, when my knees weren't made of glass and my ankles weren't the wrong way around. So my joy of skating was going out with a few friends and finding spots. It wasn't going to a skate park. It was going downtown and just hitting curbs and going to a car park that I knew had like a sick like decline down into a pole. Like that was what we used to do. And I really hope that Skate 4 is just lots of little areas that you can skate in rather than like this huge, massive map that Skate 3 was where everything was just giant ramps. Because that's not skating.
Yeah, and I think they kind of played into that arcade style with that like a bit too much. And I think with Skate 2 it was a bit rougher. It was a bit more kind of DIY skateboarding. Everything in Skate 3 felt like it was polished and made for skateboards, but it's nice to have that thing where you look at it and you're like, can I skate that? And you just, and then you have to figure out, how do I skate that? And I like that. I like those little quirky bits that you can find. Yeah. And then it makes you
like
question whether or not you can. Yeah. Because it's just that
so much,
open area.
Yeah, definitely.
On a random note, a bit of show and tell, I brought something skateboard related for this conversation, and it's to kind of hype up Danks, and I think you'll be pretty hyped by it as well. So this is one of my prize collectible skateboards that I got, and it's a Santa Cruz, and it is Le Boba Fett. Can you see that?
Oh, that is sick.
So that is my Boba Fett Santa Cruz skateboard. It's one of my my prized possessions. I was also going to get one of your favourite characters as well, Harry, which was Iron Man, because I know how much you love MCU, but I left him over there.
I thought you had a skateboard with just me on it. That's my favourite character.
Just a mirror.
just a mirror.
But because I knew we were talking about skateboarding, I had to come and do a wee bit of show and tell. It's such an awesome board. I'm kind of tempted to put it up on the wall, but
you should do. Oh, mate, that is sick. Well,
I collect skateboards.
Yeah, the harbour in Torquay used to collect my skateboards. So we have spoken about Skate 4, and as you can tell, me and Paul could talk about it literally for the rest of our lives, because a lot of the time that we're messaging just in general day-to-day life, it's about skateboarding. Yeah. So I'm going to do something quite strange now. I'm going to go on mute, and I'm going to let you two boys talk about one of the best multiplayer games of all time that, Duncan, you didn't really get into at all prior to this, did you?
No, so I basically roped in Paul to help me with Sea of Thieves. Yeah, we're talking about Sea of Thieves. Because I played it when it first came out. I think that was when there wasn't the maiden voyage to help you get used to it. Not that it helps you very much. And then I didn't get it. I tried it again after that. Went on a sloop. Is it the little 1 or 2 man ship? Didn't really understand. Sailed somewhere, got killed by a skeleton. I was like, nah, not for me. And then I thought, oh fuck it, I needed something, because I haven't got any multiplayer games that I'm in love with at the minute. So I thought, well, I'll just try this, and then mention it to Paul, because I know that him and Zoe fucking love it. And I think it's last week, I think it was. Played with Paul and Scobby, weren't he? And just like genuinely had one of like my favourite ever multiplayer evenings. It was fucking brilliant. I can't believe I've to coin a phrase that the kids use. I slept on this. Fucking is that shit? It's like is this an L or a dub? Shut up, fucking dickheads. Sorry,
in this case, it's a dub.
Big dub. Dubstep is a good genre of music. It's fucking great. I love it. Like Harry said at the top of the segment, it's one of the best multiplayer games ever. I see so many people on Twitter as well to say how much they love it, because I know Dave, much love Dave, complete Xbox Knackerback. It's one of his favourite games of all time.
Xbox Mick as well.
Oh yeah, of course. And I just, it's superb. Like I can't get my head around how good it is, and it's also it kind of preceded like a bit of like a shift in my mentality of multiplayer games now. Because I can't remember if it was this recording or the one that fucked up just before we started this recording. And Paul was saying about like everything is like games as a service multiplayer shooter. I know. Yeah. We were just chatting about Battlefront 2, and it is a bit like that at the minute. So like every single multiplayer game, I feel like, I've got to get rewarded with something. I need to have a fucking medal pop up in my face, or I need to level up straight away. And there's an element of that in Sea of Thieves, but I'm not driven by that dopamine hit of getting fucking unlocked a new skin for my AK-47. I'm just having a nice time, and it's so weird for me for the way I approach games, because I play them, I think, the wrong way. I think I play games to be rewarded with that kind of thing. Whereas to be honest, Paul, is a big thing I've found playing with you guys. This will do. Is actually just playing games to have fun. Imagine that.
I know, right?
What a strange concept.
But I play a lot of single player games, because I do enjoy them. Like, so I'm talking about this Alba game that I'm absolutely in love with. But when we played Project Winter before, and it was just the most fun. and then it's the same with Sea of Thieves. And I think when we played it, Paul, we had 3 ghost ships attack us at once.
I've played Sea of Thieves for so long, and that has never happened to me once ever. I actually love the fact that it was such a positive experience for you as well, Dunks, because that was an absolute mare. It was so bad. So we were trying to do a merchant mission to find a sunken ship. We did all the stuff in between it whilst avoiding the Reapers. So there was a player ship playing as Reapers, which are basically set out to just kill everyone because that's what they've chosen as their objective. So we avoided them, and they were literally at the spot we were at and everything. So we narrowly avoided them. And then we get to the sunken ship. We've got the gold key to open the captain's quarters, get all the loot, and get Danks a good payout because he hasn't played much of it and he wants to get himself some little cosmetics and stuff.
Coat.
Yeah, exactly. And then a scaly ship comes out of the water, and we're like, oh crap, better deal with that. But then another one came out with it, and we're like, right, we've got a galleon and we've got a sloop, and we're in a brigantine. So we're like, right, we can manage this. We've got this. So we did it really well, took them out, and then we're like, right, we'll go pick up the loot. And then as soon as we picked up the loot from that one, another one came out, but it was just a sloop. So we're like, right, okay, we can do this, carry on. But we're starting to run low on cannonballs here. And then we defeat that one. We're like, oh, the loot sank from the last one. We'll go pick up the loot from that one. Then we'll go to the sunken ship. But nah, another one comes out, a galleon, and another sloop. And I was like, guys, I think we all equally agreed. We're like, we need to go back somewhere and get supplies. We can't do this. We cannot survive this time. So we end up going back and having to come back for the loot later from the sunken ship. But yeah, it was just mental. I've never had that in Sea of Thieves.
There was a PvP ship as well, like an actual galleon as well, that was taking pot shots, and it was. I just loved. It was really fucking stressful, but it was so much fun. Because I didn't really know what I was doing. Because the entire time I'm like, Paul, why is this chest crying? Should I bring it on the ship? Paul, what do I do with this? Paul, what does this thing do?
The chest of sorrow is a nightmare, though.
This red stick with a flaming string coming out of it. Should I throw that at you?
Well, saying that, Shaun did that to Dunks by mistake.
Yeah.
He blew him up at the end.
So you had like Paul and Shaun were up on the deck, trying to take him out with cannonballs, and I'm down the bottom just trying to fucking patch up. I'm like, guys, I can't do it on my own. And then Shaun's running down, and I'm panicking because I can't find the chest with all the wood in to make the repairs. But I was absolutely like buzzing. It was so much fun. So I went back and played a little bit. Sorry, Paul.
I was just going to say, I think the thing that was really cool about that session as well is that we had such a chill start to it. It definitely warmed us up to that moment, because we were just kind of cruising along, doing the wee bits of the missions, jumping over to an island, maybe had a couple skellies, whatever. And then it just kind of it was like the difficulty increased the longer we went on the journey. It was just fantastic. It was such a good laugh.
Yeah, it was so good. And it just, and I've been picking at it a little bit because I won't do a proper session because I know Zoe will have a go at me if I play it properly without her. And
yeah.
So I've just been doing a little bit. So a Saturday morning, I'll just go to an island, get some chests, and come back again. But I love it and I hate it. But the tension that anyone can come and fuck me up at any time. But then it's that acceptance of well, that's just part of the fun. So I don't know. Maybe it's something like if you play Warzone, I used to get really fucked off with just some knobhead who'd snipe me from 100 yards and then ruin my game. But whereas on this, I'm like, okay, well, I'm a pirate, so this is just part of the game. It's a genius fucking concept.
I think what helps with it as well is that when you die, you all go into the same death lobby. So even the people that you're killing, you'll all go into the same death lobby, and it's funny seeing them there. It's always that's the bastard that just killed me. That I think helps it massively, is because you're literally all in the same boat. Yeah. And I think that helps massively. Yeah, I didn't even mean to say it like that.
I'm here till Tuesday. Try the wheel. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things that I love the most about Sea of Thieves is in the times I've played it is that anyone can come and get you, but also anyone can be a friend. And so I remember when I was dossing about on my own, and obviously when you're on your own, as you're sailing along, you run downstairs, you look at the map, you come back up. It took me like 3 sessions to realize I could just turn around and look down the back while I'm steering to look at the map to see where I'm going. And the only reason that I learned that was because someone jumped on my ship and saw me doing it. And they said over the proximity chat, like, you can just look down the back and you don't have to keep running downstairs. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then he got a blunderbuss out and shot me in the face and took all of my stuff. That was just, and I was like, oh, thank you. You're a really nice guy. Thanks so much for helping me. And he was like, bang, see you later. Bye. And I was like, I sort of maybe deserved that. Yeah. I let a pirate onto my boat and showed him where all my stuff was. Maybe I had that coming.
Sea of Thieves creates trust issues, like 100%. Like, I do not trust anyone in that game. And it's like, you know, when you see movies and stuff, when, you know, maybe somebody's on the run and somebody comes into the building that they're in, they're like, who are you? And they're holding a gun at them. That's me on Sea of Thieves. Somebody comes near my ship. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? I get so like,
like a cat with his heckles up, like,
yeah, exactly. Like, this is my boat.
I think it's just such, like you said earlier, Duncan, it's such a genius concept. And one of the strangest things ever is the chases will last 10 minutes, and they're the slowest pursuit chases that you'll ever have ever. But then you'll make one move and you'll drop your anchor and you'll swing it round to the right. And that feeling when you just watch someone's ship sail past you and you're like, I am Jack Sparrow. Like, there are so many moments where it's just like, I am the pirate. Like, it's so much fun. And it looks absolutely fucking incredible.
So it's a beautiful game.
So I got an HDR monitor. And even though it's not, not super flashy graphics, I think I said to you, Harry, I was like, it looks like incredible, like the best game I've seen. Just so bright and colourful. I don't know. Maybe there's an argument to be had that it's not super accessible in the sense that it's hard to get a hang of, but that's probably the point as well. I've learned the ropes. Again, excuse the pun. In a battle on the high seas. I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to have another big proper session on it because it's superb. And it's a fucking Game Pass as well. Didn't have to pay a penny apart from the sub.
We'll be getting the galleon next.
Yeah. I'll stand on the bottom with the bucket.
Well, there's 2 floors to the bottom of a galleon as well.
Yeah.
So it's
big boys.
Yeah, and everything is so much more taxing. Like, you need to coordinate together because when they first released Sea of Thieves, the galleon, you could actually operate one yourself. It wasn't an easy task, but you could do it. But now it's near to impossible. Even putting a sail up, it takes, if you're doing it on your own, it takes ages. You got to get someone else on the other side to get them up in decent time and stuff.
Nice.
So doing a galleon will be like the full blown co-op experience. It'll be good fun.
I really loved at the very end of our session when you were like, we need to sink the ship, and then all play our instruments as we were going down.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I couldn't, I didn't feel sad or anything, but because it was like such like an genuinely epic adventure, and it was like a really nice way just to sign off. And it was, I think it was like quite, it was like quite touching. And I just loved that it had that part to it that I can get out a banjo and I think Scobie might have had a drum or something like that, and it was just
you say it's really touching, and you turn around and Scobie one's bashing away at a bongo. Look at that fucking shit going down, boys.
The drum and bass sesh up on the crow's nest. Yeah.
All like strobe light in their lanterns. Actually, sinking the ship revealed something quite amusing, though. If you remember, Danks, that the main item from our objective, we didn't cash in.
Fucking plug it. Still on 3 hours trying to get it. You're like, oh fuck!
We didn't cash it in. But I didn't take a
all
robot. I took the robot.
All I can think about right now is like they're like Scobie is like some like EDM DJ, and he kind of has some beat going on, and then it goes silent, and he's like, "I've got the high ground here," and then everyone fucking loses it, and then the beat drops. I was like, fucking. I don't know why it's so funny.
Just there with glow sticks in between your fingers.
All the whistles. All the foam starts coming in. He pulls out a lightsaber. I don't know. Do we know anyone? Do we know any like actual like DJs that can mix a track? Fuck it, I'm going to go on Fiverr tomorrow to get someone in here to do it for me. Maybe some banging
Imagine
D&B
trying
track.
to explain that to him.
Yeah.
What sort of music do you want? Well, I want it to be like a Scottish Jedi is doing a Laser Quest show on top of a sinking ship. Oh yeah. I did one like that just last week. Yeah.
Just give me a quote.
Oh.
But yeah,
Wow.
Sea of Thieves. Superb. Absolutely superb. Can't believe I let it go so long. Love it.
I played it at launch. I played it at launch and I really didn't like it. Me and Shaun both were launch day players, and there was just nothing there on launch. A live service game, innit? But 3 years on, and it's selling more now than it was at launch. It's got one of the healthiest player bases of any Xbox game of all time. I wonder what its Metacritic score would be now if it got reviewed, because it's on like a 67 or something.
It would be massive. It would be really high.
So much to do.
Yeah,
it's funny
it
you
would be
mention
so
about.
high.
Sorry, Paul.
I was just going to say, I think it would be really high as well because of the amount of support that it has. Like, it constantly has new updates. There's always new stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like, there's never. I don't think there's ever a point. Like, I played so much Sea of Thieves last year, and I haven't played much this year. And then even coming back now, I'm like, oh, I've missed out on so much, and I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Because I've put in, and I was the same as you, I was a day one player, and I've put in so many hours into that game, and I think to put in that much time and then come back to it and be like, oh, I actually don't really know what's going on at this point.
Miles Dompier from Windows Central said the other day that he saw Shroud of Ghost, and he saw Shroud of Ghost for the first time ever. And he has literally been playing that game for 3 years, and he's finally seen it. If you don't know, Shroud of Ghost is a rare white shark, Shaun. Duncan,
yeah, Meg.
Shaun, yeah, it's a white Meg.
I've never seen it either because there's accommodation for it as well. There's accommodation in your I can't remember what it's called, but it's in there, and I haven't seen it either, and I've been playing it since day one.
Yeah, there's still stuff to find.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a live service game done right. Because I don't really mind them like live service if they're not shitty, and not to take a dump on Halo. But
Video out already.
Here's some new game modes, and that's it. It just was a bit pants. But whereas Sea of Thieves is like a whole actual story. I don't know what the one is at the minute. I think it's like some ghostly stuff's going on an island somewhere. Yeah. But it just feels like I'd want to jump in and do it rather than I can unlock a fucking tail from
pineapple
Spartan
tag.
Or
yeah. Or when Sea of Thieves. Oh, sorry, Paul. You carry on.
Sorry, I was just going to say what I find really interesting about Sea of Thieves and the way that they do the live service model is that the plunder pass, so their battle pass equivalent, is entirely free apart from select items that you can choose to pay for the pass and get. But normally, obviously, in like, if we look at, I know they're free to play, but if you look at Fortnite or whatever other game, your free pass is like maybe 20 items max. Probably not even that. If you've got 100 tiers, it maybe be like one every 10 tiers or something. With Sea of Thieves, you get one every single tier on the free pass. Literally every single one. And within that, you actually get premium coin, which is the ancient coin as well within that. So then you're actually earning money by playing it, like earning in-game money by playing it. And then alongside that, if you chose to, you could be like, oh, I really like the limited items that are in there. You could pay the $7.99 and get those select items as well. And I really like that, is that it doesn't feel like it's money grabbing. the ship sets and stuff are quite expensive, but in the grand scheme of thing, you're not going to buy every single one. You're going to like one and go, oh, I put so many hours into this game, I might actually purchase that. Or you might go, actually, I'll just get the ones that I can unlock. But the fact that that's free in the Plunder Pass is amazing. Like, out of any other game I've ever played, and I've bought a lot of battle passes because I play a lot of multiplayer games, it is the most reasonable one, 100%, and it doesn't feel like you're just throwing away money, and you don't even need to. So yeah, I think the way they do it is really consumer friendly.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seemed to level up really quickly as well, because I felt like I leveled up probably about 10 or so levels in the few hours we played together.
Yeah, and it's great. Yeah,
we talk about another great game. Because I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, but every time someone posts about Game of the Year 2022, I want to talk about my Game of the Year for this year, because it's a game came out this year and it's fucking great. OlliOlli World.
Yes,
I absolutely love OlliOlli World. Is the tits. It's so good. So I actually won the code for this through Gaz. Shout out to Gaz from Game on Daily. I won the code for the game. I know that someone on Twitter got really angry because apparently it was uncut because we've collaborated before. Obviously, I've been like slipping him money under the table, and he gave me favoritism, which is really, really apparent. You should see the way he talks to me in the DMs. He calls me a dickhead all the time. So I got OlliOlli World. I didn't really know what I wanted. He just said, like, do you want a code for a game? And I was like, yeah, I'll have a look what's come out. And just sort of was like, oh, cool, OlliOlli World. That looks fun. It looks quite nice. And then I started playing it and immediately fell in love with it. Duncan, you've been playing it, and within like an hour, you were like, yeah, this is my jam. Very, very cool. And then I bought it for Paul, because I know that Paul likes skateboarding, and it was on sale for like a tenner, and I was like, Paul's worth £10. So I bought Paul a copy of it as well.
The whole £10, mate.
Yeah, I know, mate. That's more than I spent on my missus' birthday present.
That's the most worth anybody's given me.
Duncan hand drew you a Poge picture. I think that's a bit more than
that's just straight up prices, and that was for me and Zoe and Shaun. You know, that wasn't individually for me.
Fair enough. So, OlliOlli World is absolutely incredible. I've got one issue with it. I don't like the configuration of the thumbsticks. Other than that, like, it's so good. It looks amazing. It's so effortlessly fun to play. When you hit like an entire combo through a level, I don't think I felt like pure gaming satisfaction like that for years. The soundtrack I just listen to in my spare time because it's so good. The unlockables are fun. The challenges are really difficult but really rewarding. Every level feels just like a living, breathing world. The characters are great. Oh my God, everybody go and play OlliOlli World. It's so good. What do you two guys think?
I'm going to make a really weird comparison with it, but it is like I really enjoy it, and it reminds me of if you got Skate 3, but put in mechanics of a 2D Sonic platformer, side-scrolling platformer. That's what it reminds me of. Like, it because of that fast pace and stuff. But obviously, you've got the trick sticks, so you're kind of getting that Skate 3 kind of motion in a sense, if you know what I mean, doing it like that. Yeah. But it's got the speed and the rhythm of like a Sonic game to me, and I love it. I love that fact because I love Sonic and I love skate, as we've discussed. So it just kind of ticks a box perfectly for me. But it's got a proper like wacky, far out kind of like storyline to it and stuff like that with the skate wizards and stuff.
So fun.
Yeah, it is. It is just like it just has that kind of like positive vibe. It's a game you can sit down and you can just smile while playing. Well, I'm sure if you're getting annoyed at a challenge, you can probably get a bit pissed off. But like most of the time, you've got a grin on your face and just loving it. Like I've enjoyed every moment I've played of it so far.
I've never felt in it, if I don't get a challenge, I've never felt like the challenge was too hard. I've always felt like it's me not being good enough. Like it's a very I've never felt like the game's been unfair to me, and I'm about 18, 20 hours in. I've every level that I play, I complete it fully before I move on to the next one. I'm taking my time with it, getting every unlockable that I can. My highlight is every time that Duncan comes on the screen is I screenshot it and send it to him. So I've got like a collection of screenshots on my Xbox of just Duncan doing lemon grabs, like melon grabs. It's just like my favorite thing. And then the other day, his character did a different trick, and I was like, "Oh, I've not seen that one." And instantly sent it to Duncan, like, "Hey, he did a new trick today. He did a laser flip."
I'm like, "That's nice."
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's such a wholesome, fun, brilliantly bright and well put together game. I played the original OlliOlli and never really got on with it. It felt a bit clunky. It felt a bit bumpy. It didn't feel like a smooth experience. Whereas in this, there are points where I don't even recognize that I'm controlling the character, but I'll just like put these lines together. And then at the end of it, I'll be like, oh, wow, that was actually really, really good. Like it's for me, it's the best high score chase game since SSX3. Like every level I go on, I want to try and on my first run, I want to go from start to finish without bailing once. And like, I will reset levels so many times just because like I might not hit a grab properly or I might not tweak it. And I'm like, I need to get like another 1 times multiplier. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. Thank you, Gaz.
It's a really interesting point you make. Oh, sorry.
No, you be careful.
I was just gonna quickly say that I find it really interesting, that point that you made in regards to score chasing, because I think that's what I've been missing out. Like I've played Skater XL, I tried Session and I binned it immediately. I've tried other skateboarding games, and because I love skateboarding games, and like Skatebird, I tried that. I know you weren't a massive fan. I didn't mind it as that much. Yeah. I got a wee bit of enjoyment out of it. I thought it was quite funny.
Absolute fucking bullshit.
But like when I think about like when the Pro Skater releases came out and like the re-release, the remasters, and how much enjoyment I got out of that, I think that's actually what I've been missing in that kind of extreme sports game, is having that kind of score chase and that combo chase, like to try and get that really high ridiculous combo and just see how big you can actually make it. So I think that's a really good point. I've never wanted to perfect levels like I am in this game since Trials, and you'll know, like, I am addicted to Trials. Like, I don't want to brag, but I'm very good at Trials because I spent so many hours just relentlessly learning every single minute detail of every single level. Like, it was a mission for me. Like, I didn't just want to beat my friends' times on Trials. I wanted to demolish them. So I would spend 2 hours on one track just to get the perfect run. And I'm getting that same feeling with OlliOlli World. This is going to be a game that I play for years to come. Because once I finish it, I'm going to go back to the start and redo every single level again to try and completely smash every score that I've done. It's so good. Well, that means all my high scores are going to get smashed. Because I've been like, yes, I beat Harry's high score.
You've seen what I'm like on Trials. This is my new Trials. It's so good.
No.
What were you going to say before, Duncan? Sorry.
It's funny with like Paul when he said about what it reminds you of. I've got like 2 other games that I get the same feelings of that are really fucking weird. So like Super Meat Boy and Burnout 3.
Yes.
Fucking mental, right? So like Super Meat Boy, because like you said, Harry, about the lines, it's the same thing. So like on Meat Boy, you would get to a point where it's just muscle memory to get through a level, and it's really similar. But then Burnout 3, I know that is mental, but I remember that being a game where it's very easy to feel cool. And I find that a lot in OlliOlli World. I forgot the fucking name of it then. Because like quite a lot of the time,
I've not tweeted about it enough, obviously. I'm just finishing level 2, so I'm still kind of relatively early on, even though I've played it a lot. I do find it quite not easy, but
my success rate of doing a level in one combo is quite high. That's
just demolished.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But it feels very easy to have a nice time on it. Like it's faultless to me. Like I can't. I think maybe I do agree with you a little bit on the sticks. I find my thumb hurts a lot. Because to do, I find it a little bit. Doing the ollies and the. I can't remember when you press up. I'm not au fait with
no comply.
No comply. That's it.
Yeah.
But when you do like the special ones where you've got to rotate the stick, I find that's quite grueling on my thumb, which is such a fanny thing to worry about.
The issue I've got is I'm so used to skate games that use the right analog stick to do the flick tricks. And if they had an option to switch those, it would be perfect. It would be faultless. It would be a 10 out of 10 for me.
To be honest, I would still give it a 10 out of 10. Like even without that, I've had difficulty transitioning because the only skateboarding game I've ever really played is Tony Hawk's. Because back in I think it's Tony Hawk's 3, I was very good at that, but I've never lost the hold down A to speed up a jump and etc.
Yeah.
Probably the same with SSX as well, I presume. And I've never forgotten that muscle memory. So quite a lot of time I'll get muddled up and I'll go to do a jump, but I'm speeding up.
Yeah, I do exactly the same thing.
But like you said, that's not the game's fault. That's completely me. And it's funny because I remember a few months ago, I said to you, because we game share, and I was like, I really fancy buying a game. I don't know what to get, and I was like, I might get OlliOlli World. You
mentioned OlliOlli, didn't you? Yeah.
And we were both a bit like, come on, we're doing like the first one, so I'll just get Tony Hawk's instead. But then it turns out I fucking prefer OlliOlli World instead. Just because it's
from the second you turn the game on, it has an aesthetic and it hits that every single way. That
lo-fi coffee shop vibe. It's like whenever I'm kind of playing games, I like to have a few different types of games like on the go. So I have my really serious playthrough. I've got my fun multiplayer, and I've got my tonic, my nightcap game. So in a minute, I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 as my big playthrough. I've got Battlefront 2 or Sea of Thieves or Chivalry 2 as my fun multiplayer that I don't have to worry about so much. And then I always finish the night on a run or two of OlliOlli Worlds. And it's just that thing, and because it's got quick resume, it's just the best fucking thing. I know, Paul, you've got issues with it being on every game, but I can just load it up, do a quick run. Oh, that was nice, and then I can turn it off again. I don't feel like I've got playing for hours on ends, but when I do, every time I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. I cannot fault it. I know you have to be quite critical when we do podcasts and stuff. I cannot fault it. It's a spectacularly good video game. And even if I'm not a massive skateboarding fan. When you guys talking about Skate 4, I'm here like, that's a move.
Wheels,
I guess, yeah. But then I don't have much interest in it. But OlliOlli World is so good. I'm just having so much fun with it, regardless of my personal interests.
Well, I don't see it as a skating game. I see it as a platformer. I genuinely wouldn't categorize it as a skateboarding game. And I think that's what put me off it at first, is because a skateboarding game has to be very good to be a good skateboarding game, because it's such a niche market. It's why I enjoy Shredders so much, is because it had to be a good snowboarding game in order to be good. This isn't a good skateboarding game. This is a phenomenal platformer. And the skateboarding in it is just an option to platform. So you can, if you want to, do what me and Duncan do, where we will just one combo the entire level. Or if you don't want to do that and you just want to take it jump by jump, it gives you the option to do that. Later levels, level 3 and 4, do ramp up the difficulty quite a lot. But every game, every platformer does that. Celeste does that. Super Meat Boy does that. Braid did that. it's one of the best platforming games, really, I think I've ever played. And it just happens to be that you do skateboard tricks. And that's just really cool because skateboarding is cool. Like, you can't deny that skating is cool.
You can't, yeah, that's a good point. You can't really call it a sports game either, can you? Because it's not really.
It's a platformer that happens to use skateboards. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And if you like platformers, just like play it. It's the best platformer on consoles right now. No questions asked.
It's a fantastic platformer. And I think that's what gives me that kind of classic Sonic vibes to it. And that's what I see as like original Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic Mania was brilliant. And then, like, I see them as like my top tier platformers very much. Yeah. And I made a similar comparison with FLYNN with certain elements of Sonic as well. And I think that's very much that's my baseline. And to compare OlliOlli World, that's for me is a compliment. Always.
But I just absolutely adore it. I'm so glad that I just randomly picked that game because Gaz messaged me like, hey, do you want a copy of Elden Ring? I was like, Duncan's already got it and we game share. And he's like, well, tell me any other game that you want. I was like, that one. Like, it was the only game that I was sort of semi-interested in. And it's now likely going to be the game that I play the most this year. And it's going to be really boring at the end of the year when it's like, best platformer, OlliOlli World. Best game, OlliOlli World. Soundtrack, OlliOlli World. Art style, OlliOlli World. Like, that's going to be my game of the year pick. It's going to be very boring. If you thought that the tweets were bad now, Duncan, wait until December.
Can't wait, man.
So good. It's so good. We've got one other thing to talk about, but it's literally like 30 seconds. Xbox has had its best March since the 360 era. So in the last 11 years, it sold more consoles this March than ever before. And it actually made more money than PS5 and Nintendo. I'm gonna eat humble pie, and I'm gonna say that my assessment of the Series S was so massively wrong at the start of this generation that I can't believe how stupid I was to think that it was a pointless console. It is driving Xbox forward. Like, it's undeniable the impact this amazing little console is having. It was
a pretty genius move. It was a genius move from Xbox, and especially given the chip shortage and stuff like that, and the way that they're able to still produce them. You know, when you hear was it about a month ago or maybe 2 months ago that PlayStation were remanufacturing PS4s to
just continue
to keep up demand, yeah, and it's like Xbox hit the nail on the head. Whether they predicted that or not, they nailed it. They were very fortunate or well planned. I don't know which one it is in that situation, and it is a cool wee console that performs just as good as you need it to.
A lot of people forget that dickheads on Twitter make up a very small minority of people that actually want to buy consoles. And when you go into a store and you see a brand new next-gen console for £250 next to a £450 PS5, and it's your kid's birthday and he wants to play Fortnite with his mates, what do you go for? Taru, who's a guy that me and Duncan work with, he was like, hey, I've not really got into gaming recently. I know that you do the podcast. Like, what would you recommend? And I was like, All Access Series S, do it. It's £22 a month. You get the console, you get Game Pass. You like Fallout, you can play every Fallout game ever. You like Skyrim, you can play every Elder Scrolls game. You can play any Xbox game. There's like 500 games. And he was like, okay, yeah, cool, sold. And he went and got one. Like, it was a no-brainer for him.
Yeah, and I think as well, when the consoles, like the next gen consoles, are so sparse, like even just now, they're still hard to get hold of. If that was me, I was fortunate enough to get an X on day one. But if I wasn't able to do that, I would have an S right now. 100%, no doubt about it. Like, I would have just got an S. And I think there's probably a lot of people that are like, well, the other ones aren't available, I'll get an S, because it doesn't look like they're going to get available anytime soon. Yeah. And human nature is to be impatient about things. So you're going to be like, no, I don't want to wait for that one now. I'm just going to get this one. It will do.
I'll
and
have
then if I do, it's
1080p
amazing.
60. I'll have 1080p 60 instead of 4K 60. Like,
Yeah.
Well, because I've got an S, and I wasn't really kind of bothered about the next gen because I figured it's going to take me a while to get a Series X, and I had a bit of money, and it was like 230 quid. I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. Love it to bits. Like, I mean, the only thing that does annoy me is lack of like a storage space, but first world problems. I honestly could not give the shiniest shit about how much it sold. Got mine now. I couldn't give a fuck. When people report on this stuff, it's just fucking bait for cunts on Twitter. Yeah, just to be like, my console's better. I couldn't give a fucking shit if Tony from fucking Chicago's bought a PS5 or an Xbox. Oh, Chicago Tony! Shit, I didn't even make the connection.
Did you not even mean to do that?
I didn't even mean to do that.
Shout out to Chicago Tony V.
Chicago Tony. I would care what he thinks. All right, Barry Shatkins from fucking wherever the fuck he lives. Up his own arsehole.
Wankins.
I couldn't give a fuck what he's bought, and no one should. I mean, when people I do this all the time. I will rant about Twitter. Who gives a shit, man? I don't care what you've got. I'm more than happy. I've got a PS4 Pro. It's funny actually to mention about them manufacturing PS4s because I joined a chat with Jordan earlier on. Someone was talking about getting a pre-owned one, and I got a PS4 Pro for 160 quid. Which is pretty decent. People are flogging PS4s, just base ones, for 200 quid. It's like, well, £30 more. What, you get an extra console? It's bonkers. It's fine. I don't mind my PlayStation from my Xbox. But yeah, sorry. I'm like, talking about anything
games,
Twitter,
games,
I'm losing my rag. Just play fucking games, mate.
Yeah.
Why is it?
But that's the thing. It's entirely subjective.
More PS5s have sold than Xboxes, so like they're both doing well.
Great.
And the Switch shits on everything. The fucking Switch shits on everything. More Switches are sold a day than I think the entire human population. There are Switches. Yeah, there are Switches on Switches, like, and that's not like 60 frames 4K. No one gives a fuck. Play games, they're fun.
And everyone argues about what console, whatever. We all shit, right? You know, like it doesn't matter. Like we all eat food and it turns into poo. Who gives a fuck? We all die at the end of it, at the end of everything.
And some people send pictures of where that comes to Jordan.
I can't believe I opened it. I even clicked on it. I was like, maybe.
And I want to see a picture of an anus today.
Very clean arsehole that was as well.
Surprisingly, I have no idea what you're talking about, and I don't really want to.
Okay, so we spoke about this. Oh, you've not been watching the show, you dirty fucking scrub. So a few weeks ago, Jordan stole our joke.
Thanks for coming on, Paul. Really appreciate it.
A few weeks ago, Jordan stole our joke because he's a dirty thief. And he said, stop buying this fucking game to GTA 5. And it made GTA 6 go trending. And like 20 hours later, while he was pissed in the pub, I was like, could you maybe link our podcast, please, mate? And now that's our most watched podcast episode. So he got loads of abuse in his DMs about it. And some guy sent him a video of his anus. Just leaned forward.
And it was
just his gooch and his completely waxed anus.
But you had to go through like 4 or 5 different like sensitive content. Are you sure you want to watch this?
He had to click on the message.
Are you definitely sure?
He had to accept. He clicked on the message. He had to accept the guy's request to message him. He then had to click on the image to open the media, and then he had to confirm that he was okay looking at the media. And then he did that, and it was just a picture of some guy's anus, like literally spread cheeks, like it was staring. You could hear the whistle of the air going through it. It was
so what you're telling me is Jordan got out Jordaned?
Yes. Yeah, he did.
You played yourself.
Yeah. We've seen his arse, but we've never seen his anus. So,
But like we said,
that's a
last
checkmate
time,
right there.
Like we did say, I did thank Jordan for taking the brunt
the abuse.
of the abuse
Yeah.
rather than me on that one, because mentally wasn't in the right place to handle all that.
definitely not. So, should we talk less about random strangers' anuses?
Do you ever
should
wonder
we-
what your
should
one
we-
looks like, Harry?
I mean,
One thing you'll never see with your own eyes is your own arsehole.
I've seen it in a mirror.
Ever think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, but
seen it
actually
in the
looking,
mirror, right?
have you? God, you've got some hella dexterity, man. I can't bend over that way. How would you do it?
I'm going to stop now.
I think
Continue this sentence.
I'm too. Actually, I reckon Harry's got some kind of weird sex story to do with his arse.
I had read your exact thing on Twitter, and it was like, you never look at your own anus. And I was like, yeah, I can. So I literally just went up to the bedroom, took my pants down, and just bent over in front of a mirror. And I was like, that's my butthole. And then I put my boxes back up, and I just went back downstairs. Like, I've seen it. It's nothing special. Bit airy.
I don't think I'd. A bit airy.
Did
I
you?
don't think I want to see mine. I think I'm too worried what mine would look like. It's very deep set and hairy, so I think I'd be a bit worried.
Yours would look like Cousin It.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
Just with one
a
eye
very,
looking out the centre.
very cavernous, I expect.
So yeah, any other guests that want to come on the show at any point? This isn't completely indicative of what we always talk about. Should we end this insanity with the answers to Game in 60 seconds? Because
Yes.
I'm chuffed with mine. Chuffed. That
Well,
wasn't. I didn't mean that as an anus joke.
Here's Shaun's answer, first of all.
Hey, howdy. Hey, Shaun here again. Now, if you missed the start of this episode that I'm not in, then we gave our Game in 60 clues. And if you're wondering why I'm not in this episode, despite being on your screens right now, it's because I'm a poorly boy and me and Lucia have a little Lego on the way. I don't know if I've told you that before. I might have told you once or twice or 200 times. But anyway, Game in 60, that's what we're here for. My Game in 60 was he drowned before he could say dad. He drowned before he could say dad. And the answer to that is far changing tides. And the reason it's far changing tides is because he couldn't quite say father because he drowned. Because the tides changed probably. So, dad, father, you can connect the dots. So far changing tides. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode that I'm not in. Don't forget to show Harry and Duncan some love in the chat for the great effort that I have no doubt they've put in for this episode of my hour show. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more Gamers Watch content like this that I'm not in. And you can also follow us on Twitter as well, which is @GamersWatchCrew. A personal thank you from me as well to Harry, Duncan, and Paul for being on today's episode that I'm not in. So I think that's all there is to say, really. So from me, Shaun, it's keep on watching, and also keep on remembering me. Remember me. I exist. Don't forget me. Remember me. I want to be remembered. Don't forget me. I exist. I'm here. There's 3 of us on my hour show. I don't.
Wow.
I knew it.
Shaun.
That's what I guessed.
I
knew it.
He stumped
it's
me
a
this
hilarious. It's a hilarious picture, and
it wasn't a picture.
I'm still triumphant.
It wasn't a picture this week.
Was it a video of him
I hope
squatting
Shaun
over a
feels
mirror?
much better. He's had a cold, so I hope he feels all right, Shaun.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling all right,
Love
mate.
you, Shaun.
when see this.
Get well soon.
I love you more.
Bye-bye.
Um,
And if you don't recover, at least we've got Paul that can stand in for you now. So
Yeah.
swings and roundabouts. So, Paul, what was your clue?
that's so rude, isn't it?
My clue.
So unnecessary. Come on, man.
I'm the best man. Can't believe it.
My clue.
Yeah. Say, hang on, Paul. Right now, I want you to say and mean it that you appreciate this work Shaun does on this show.
Shaun, I know I don't say it anywhere near enough, but You're a bloody great mate. And I genuinely appreciate all the work you do. You do a fantastic job. Some of the artwork and the graphics you design are genuinely out of this world. It's funny that my name's Harry and you're the wizard because, mate, this show is absolutely spectacular and almost all of it is your doing. But
nothing without you.
That said,
thank you for that.
That said, fucking pansy for not coming on tonight. So, Paul, what was your clue?
You're off for fucking 2 months.
Yeah, but I had a little one on the way.
Who was first with the clues? I can't remember.
I think I said mine first, but I really want to know what Paul's is because I've been scratching my head all episode. So, Paul, what was your clue if you can remember it?
I had to get half a dozen oddly coloured teeth removed. Which is
going to be something sick.
No.
You want to guess?
It's Rainbow Six Extraction.
Of course it's fucking Rainbow Six.
It was at the top of Game Pass. You told me to do that.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that works. It is much better than Arkham Knight, so it's absolutely fine.
Still working that one out.
It's still shit. My clue was it was a bit odd seeing Cyndi Lauper in that Jake Gyllenhaal sci-fi film. And that game is Life is Strange, True Colours. Because there's a film with Jake Gyllenhaal called Life. And it's a bit odd. So it's strange.
How the fuck is anyone going to get that? The Jake Gyllenhaal film called Life.
Well, it's the True Colours bit that most people would probably get.
I tell you what, Zoe probably would have got it.
Shining through. I need your true colours. There you go. Little rendition. And that's why I love you. There you go. Go on, Dunks. You finish it off. I'll tell you what. It's past Dunk's bedtime. Dunks, do you want to do your clue? We'll fuck off.
Can you have another kid so I can go to bed at a reasonable hour? Thanks. Again, that's not fair.
Again, that's not fair. Too human.
No. Anyone? No. Injustice 2.
Injustice 2. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I phoned it in.
Personally, I think Shaun's was the best. I really digged Shaun's clue this week. It was excellent. We'll all agree it was absolutely exemplary.
Can't believe I worked it out.
I know, mate. And that's us done after 2 hours.
Just one. I don't know why this sprung into my head. Remember a while ago, you came holidaying down the road near me, and you went to the monkey place. To Barcelona in Liscard or Lou, wherever it was.
Barcelona in Lou.
I went on my little holiday out to Wales. We went to Longleat, and it was amazing. It was really fun. And then it was on bank holiday Monday. It's fucking rammed. How have I got COVID? I've got no idea. And then we queued up for this thing called Jungle Cruise. And I thought this might be quite interesting. And it's literally a really slow boat around a lake. And it's not a jungle. It's just, and to be honest, mate, the guy could have been you, like the announcer. He was like, "It's like I've got to do this for 9 hours today." The hippos are asleep. Pretty can't see him now. It's great in it, and he was like, but I loved him because he was so fucking miserable. I'm like, I would have loved your fucking job, mate. And then he fed some sea lions, and this is like a man-made lake, like in front of like a big mansion. There's no fucking Jungle Cruise about it. And then he fed some sea lions, and one of them was making this shriek, like it was like a proper honk. And everyone's like, "Oh, so sweet, making sea lions." He's like, "Yeah, I've got to hear that shriek for the next 5 hours today till I can go home." I hope you're all enjoying it. And I'm like, this fucking guy's on the same shit as Harry. Like,
he's my idol.
Off in a minute.
He is my absolute
he was so
idol
funny.
in life. What a bloke. Imagine him doing a tour of the monkey sanctuary in Lou. Mate, that monkey over there, he had battery shoved up his arse. That monkey over there, fingered every day. Yeah, that one over there, hung himself 3 times, lived. Yeah. Enjoy the monkeys, kids.
That's what it was like. It was very funny. But it's
over there. I'll jump off that one day. Yeah, well.
Yeah. Don't
return that trick.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of the hippos will just eat me one day and put my entire suffrage to end. And
I'm surprised he hasn't taken a dive off into the hippos who were asleep. He was like, and it was literally like, he's like, oh, if you look over there, you can see a little mud path, little grey mound, hippo asleep. And by this point, me and George are fucking knackered anyway because it was a really long day. There's a little grey, sweaty mound over there. There's a hippo. Yeah, long leap. Can't wait for the can't wait for the sponsorship.
My face actually hurts.
Very nice that long leap place.
A grey, sweaty mound. Oh, what a place to end. Well, Duncan, I've forgotten what the outro is to the episodes.
I've written it down.
I always forget the order. So
because I want to honour Shaun for not being here, so I've written it down and I'm taking it very seriously.
Also, everyone go and follow This'll Do because they're banging.
Yes,
go do that.
Banging.
And they like Iron Brew. Hello,
Iron Brew is amazing. And if Iron Brew somehow comes across this video and wants to give me free Iron Brew because I talk about Iron Brew so much, day it.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's
it. That's his hang. That's my favourite Limmy. My favourite Limmy sketch is, what's your hang? What's your hang? Absolutely love Limmy.
My favourite Limmy sketch is got to be the steel or feathers. I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I get it.
But it's heavier than. But steel is heavier than feathers. No, but they both are a ton. Aye, but steel is heavier than feathers. No, but they are both a ton. I don't get it. Or the laptop one where he just wallops the guy around the head as he's telling his life story. Oh, Limmy, you legend. If Limmy is listening to this, please can you sponsor our show? And then we'll do the outro. So thank you very much, Paul, for joining in today.
Thank you for having me. It's been good fun.
Lots of skateboardy fun.
I know.
Thank you.
So much skateboarding to talk about. It's been great.
Oh, I'm just going to read my notes. Thank you for watching episode 63. Got to do that thing that old people are doing. Thank you for watching episode 63.
They do this until their eyes can zoom.
If you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't, make sure to follow us on Twitter at GamersWatchCrew and on YouTube, youtube.com/GamersWatch. Make sure to subscribe
like a librarian.
At the same time. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, which I said earlier on is also fine, but probably not for my mental health. So just give a thumbs up. Be nice about it. Leave a comment. You can tell I've done these in bullet points, can't you?
I'm just fully spat everywhere.
That was really sarcastic earlier. Leave a comment, a nice one, please. I don't want negative comments. Give it someone else. Hug someone consensually. Do that. Hugs are good, isn't they?
What is this outro? Shaun has never done the outro like this.
Yeah, well, I'm doing my best.
So good.
I jumped in the last minute. And remember to keep on watching.
And keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming.
There we go.
We are.
Keep on.
Cheery bye.
Cheers then. Cheery bye. I didn't say cheery on last there at the beginning.
I'm still recording, so there we go. Shaun, just cut that and put it in at the beginning for no reason. Bye.
Follow us on Twitter at Gamers Watch Crew. Harry's like, you're doing this really badly, Duncan. Oh, this is the last time.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's just my audio coming through is really, really bad now, so I'm struggling to hear anything that's happening. Like I literally didn't hear anything you guys have just said.
Oh,
I missed something.
I was
I'm
just
really
going.
confused.
And I just joined in.
So easy, mate. So easy.
I genuinely think that this might be the most painful experience my ears have ever had. It is so horrendously bad, this internet
We
connection.
were listening to you.
But
Is it because I'm here? Am I hurting your ears?
No, I don't know what it is. It's so bizarre. Anyway,
No,
what were
me
you
and
guys
Shaun
talking
feel
about?
every week.
Sorry.